So welcome back, everyone. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscription button. We'd love to have you here as part of the At Home with Zane family. And be sure and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. So as you can see from the topic of the video, this is going to be Tuesday Table Talk. And it's something that I hope to be able to do on every Tuesday, where we talk about a topic. And today's topic is accepting things as they are. And the reason I chose this topic is because lately I have talked with many people, both friends, some have even been strangers that I just met at Starbucks, or I belong to a social group here in our local area where we discuss all sorts of different topics. And one of the things that I have really heard a lot of people expressing lately is that they're extremely discontent with where they are in their life. And they have this sort of expectation that because they've reached a certain age, they should be more advanced and further along in life than where they are. And so a lot of people are really discontent for a lot of different reasons. And so I wanted to put this video out there saying accepting things as they are, to sort of let people know that it's okay to want more in life. We should always be striving to improve and be better. But oftentimes what happens is we get into a place where we're discontent and we start feeling like our life is lacking in some way, or we should have more than we have, or our desires aren't being met, and you begin to feel really down. And what happens is, what you think about, you bring about. Now, I know you've all heard about the law of attraction, and we've all heard about, you can manifest both good and bad into your life. I know 100% with certainty that I have seen both sides in my life. I have seen when I've had, my life has felt one way, what I've attracted, and when my life has felt another way, the things that I've attracted. And I've looked back over the course of like the last year and all of the different things that I sort of manifested into my life in a positive way. And at the time when it happened, I didn't really think, oh, wow, that's something that I actually had a desire for. That's something that I actually manifested into my life. Because way back when, it was something that I was asking for. And so we all have also probably heard the phrase, what you resist, persist. So think about it like this. If you have something in your life right now that is uncomfortable and you're not happy with it and you're constantly resisting it, it's like when you give medicine to a child and they're fighting you and they're crying and the medicine's going everywhere, and it's not the medicine that's the problem. It's the resistance that the child is giving that's the problem. It isn't the medication. It's the fact that they're resisting taking the medication. And so before you know it, the medicine's everywhere, they're crying, you're probably crying, and it is a disaster. Well, our lives, the way we think about things and the way that we resist things that are uncomfortable, it's the exact same theory. So if you're in a place right now where there's something really uncomfortable going on in your life, or you're discontent and you would like to see more of something that you want out of your life, you're unhappy where you are, you want that perfect spouse, or you want the perfect house, or you want a raise, or you want children, or whatever the case may be, you want more money, stop resisting where you are right now and just accepting that this is where things are right now, and you will find that what you resist persists. So if you acknowledge it and you accept it, and here's the key, give yourself permission to feel the way that you feel. Say, today I'm having a bad mood, I'm in a bad mood, and that's okay. I feel this way, and it's okay. I'm allowed to feel this way. You will be amazed at how much giving yourself that permission slip will make that resistance pass so much quicker, because you're no longer fighting it and going against it. You're simply acknowledging that you feel that way, and you're saying, it's okay that I feel that way. And you know, you don't have to be okay with your circumstances. You can absolutely want more. But the fact of the matter is, if you want $1 million and right now today you have $200 in your checking account, that's reality. Nothing that you think is going to change that right now, this very second. Today, right now, you have $200 and you want $1 million. So reality is what it is. Reality is also what we make of it. So if your current state is a state of uncomfort, you want something more, and you're resisting, constantly thinking in your mind, what can I do to make this better? How am I going to make these improvements? I don't like where I'm at. I'm doing something wrong. All you're going to do is create more and more and more resistance in your life. The sooner you're allowing yourself to accept your reality, accept things just as they are, the better things will get, even if nothing changes. Our thoughts, I said earlier, what we think about, we bring about. You know, your mind, where the mind goes, the man follows. You know, you're going to continue to attract more of what you're attracting. So, you know, I read an article one time that said, if you want to know what you're thinking, stop and look at where your life is. And if you're just thinking negative things all the time, and I also want to say this isn't about trying to stay positive all the time, because let's face it, you guys, it's impossible to just stay positive all the time and happy, happy, happy. There are some people out there who have mastered that. Great to all of you. But for the majority of people, it's difficult to have a positive attitude every single day. What you need to do is accept and allow that you're not having a positive day. Just say, I'm not having a positive day today. And that's okay. It's okay that I'm not. And you will see that you're no longer resisting this. You're now allowing it, acknowledging it, and saying, I don't know how to change it, so I'm just going to accept my reality as it is right now. And then, you know, speak out your desires. Be very clear if there's something that you want to change. You know, if you want a new job, say to yourself, my ideal job looks like this. And then get a really clear picture about what your ideal job looks like and move on. Because your job is to figure out what you want, do what you can do. But then you need to let God, or whoever your higher being is, the universe, whoever, do the rest. You know, this is not suggesting that you sit around and do nothing, but you also don't have to sit around and be unhappy, because the fact of the matter is, what we have right now is today. This very second, this moment, this is our reality. And I said earlier, the money in the bank theory. If you sit here long enough with your eyes closed saying you want $1 million, that's not going to change the fact that you have $200 in the bank. So unless all of a sudden some miraculous deposit comes along and goes into your bank account, the reality is you have $200. So instead of thinking about how much you dislike the fact that you only have $200, just accept that that's what you have and say, you know what, I don't have to be okay with this. I would like to have more, but right now I'm just going to accept that this is how it is, and I'm going to embrace my current circumstance. I'm telling you guys, I learned this the extremely hard way over my life. I was that person who, if I didn't feel positive about it, I felt like I was neglecting it. I felt like if I was not focusing on whatever needed to change, every single second of the day, I was somehow being negligent. I thought, you know, if I want a new job, then I need to be focused on getting a new job 24 hours a day. And if I'm not focused on it, then it's not going to grow and it's not going to happen, and I'm being negligent. It's never going to change. The fact of the matter is, what I did is drove myself crazy trying to fix it when I didn't have the answer. You know, when it comes to my business, of course, I have to spend some time focusing on it. But I found that when I stopped trying to come up with answers to questions that I didn't have the answers. When I finally just said, I don't have the answers, and I left it alone, suddenly things started to develop. Things started to change. And it was because I no longer resisted. I stopped resisting and just accepted. Acceptance is so important in growth. So I wanted to talk about this today because, like I said, I've talked to several people lately, and the resounding comment or topic that I have found is a lot of people are just so discontent, yet they're trying and trying and trying to change it, and they're trying to stay positive all the time. And what we should be doing is allowing ourselves to feel the way that we feel. You don't have to feel positive every second of every day in order for positive things in your life to happen. I can absolutely testify to that. There's been many times where my day has not been the greatest, and I've accepted that this is the case, and my mood changed, it passed, I was no longer resisting it any longer, and before I knew it, there was a shuffle. Something would happen in my life. Very quickly before I end this video, I want to give you like a perfect example. So I have manifested several things over the course of the last year because I've been very clear about them, very mindful of what I wanted. Well, I was taking my car to get an oil change, and you know, my car, we bought it last year. It's new, and it was like the first time, you know, to have service, but I don't drive it a lot because I work from home. And so I was kind of in between this area of, I'm at the time frame, the year mark, but I'm not quite at the mile mark. And so, you know, I talked to Volkswagen and I scheduled my appointment, and I was just dreading going because I thought, you know, it's going to be a sit and wait thing. It's going to be like 3 hours. My scheduled service is going to be like, you know, $257. It was like an oil change, tire rotation, cabin filter change, and all these things that are recommended for, you know, where I'm at right now with my car. And so I was just not loving the idea of sitting at the dealership for 3 hours one day while they did this and then paying $257 to do it. So all this time, for like days leading up to it, I was just dreading it. I thought, oh gosh, and it's going to be pretty out that day. Ugh. So the day rolls around, and the night before I thought, you know what? It is what it is. I have to get the oil changed. I'm going to sit there for 3 hours, and I'm going to pay whatever it costs. Period. Reality. It's going to cost this much. It's going to approximately take this long. That's the reality of the situation. No matter what I did to try my personal self to change it, the dollar amount wasn't going to change, and the time wasn't going to change, and the need wasn't going to change. So I had two choices. I could either be really resistant about it and negative and hating it, or I could just accept it. So I decided that morning, I'm just going to accept it. So I went and got a Starbucks. I took my car to Volkswagen. I sat down in the waiting room, and I started reading some things, and I was looking at YouTube and, you know, doing things to just make the time be more pleasant. I've got my Starbucks. I was chatting with a very nice lady who was sitting there. So an hour and 15 minutes pass, and they come in and they say, you know, Mr. Redfern, your vehicle's ready. And I said, oh my goodness, you're kidding. I was expecting it to be 3 hours. And they were like, oh no, we got it right in and everything went smoothly, so you're ready to go. So I go out there and they said, you know, go see the cashier. So I go over to the cashier and they said it's going to be $157.20. And I thought, $157.20? It was supposed to be $257. So I looked and I said, are you sure? You know, did I get everything that I was supposed to get? And she looked at it and she's like, well, you got your tires rotated, your oil changed, and a cabin air filter, and that was what you were due for. And so, you know, that's the price. And I thought, wow. So the point is, this really bad negative thing that I was dreading, the moment I just accepted it and I made it a pleasant experience, it took an hour and 15 minutes versus the 3 hours I was quoted over the phone. And it was $100 and some less than what the person quoted me. So I got this beautiful manifestation situation out of something simply because I decided to make it a pleasant experience, because it is what it is. It wasn't going to change. And in the end, it actually ended up being better than what I thought it was going to be. So try putting this into practice. Try just accepting things as they are. Don't not want to change. Don't think that this means you have to accept everything bad that's going on in your life right now and not want more. What this simply says is you're just giving yourself permission to accept it and say, I personally, my person, can't change this right now, so I'm going to pray about it, and, you know, I'm just going to accept how it is. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Just acknowledge it. And when it comes up later on in the day, just go, you know what? I decided I'm not going to resist this. It's there. It is what it is. And I'm just going to embrace it and accept it. So try this and see how it works for you, because I can tell you it has worked wonders in my life, just in being able to go through my everyday life, not having to feel pressured by myself to be in a good mood and feel positive and have things going great, when my reality was just the opposite. It wasn't positive. It wasn't going great. The moment that I allowed myself to accept my circumstances just as they were, the happier I was able to be, and the faster those things changed from a negative experience to something positive. So I hope that you found this video useful. Be sure and visit my video description for links to all my social media sites, my Instagram, my Pinterest, my Facebook page is there. The At Home with Zane website is on there as well. You can check out all the At Home with Zane home fragrances. Be sure and visit those, because I share a lot of information over on my social media that I don't share over here if it's not in the form of a video. So have a wonderful day, and we'll look for you the next time.